please subscribe down there for our channel and hit the bell icon for notifications and share this with your friends. Radhe Radhe. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol. So we're picking up from yesterday where we left off. Yesterday we told the stories of how Srimati Radhika first cooked for Durvasa Rishi, how she was blessed to be famous throughout the world for her expertise in cooking, and also how anyone who took her cooking would be free of any sickness, would be undefeatable, and many sweet pastimes in relation to that. How her first birthday party was celebrated, not her first, but how they had a birthday celebration for Radharani in Barshana. And all the Brijabasis came and attended, and Krishna, for the first time, he was seen to eat with so much enthusiasm. And so Yashoda was thinking, if only Radha would be able to cook for my Krishna every day. And she was praying like this, and she requested Kirtida, please let Radha come and cook. But Kirtida and Vrishabhanu thought, how can our beloved Radha, who is like our princess, go to the home of another like a worker and cook for them? And so they refused. And then they said, oh, Krishna can come every day and eat at our house. And then Nanda and Jashoda were thinking, how can we send our Brajaraj Kumar, Prince Krishna, every day to another person's house as if he is a beggar? So there was this dilemma. But Radha so much wanted to go and cook for Sri Krishna. This is Radhika's mood always, to cook for Sri Krishna. So what would happen? So then, after some time, Nanda and Jashoda decided, let us ask Vrishabhanu and Kirtida to arrange the marriage of Srimati Radhika with Krishna. They thought, let us propose that Sri Radha and Krishna will be married. This is when they are still very young. In Braj we see arranged marriages happen when they are still very young. And that way they'll be chaste throughout their whole lives. They do not start living with each other for some time, even many years. And they will not consummate the marriage till much later. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was married to a 5-year-old girl. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes in his biography, it was like the marriage of dolls. Like on one hand, he's just a little boy and he doesn't know what's going on. And she's just a little girl and they're like, what's going on? But this was the culture that in this way, the families are united. And the girl will stay for some more years at her parents' home. And much later on, they may come together and actually start the family. But in this way, their marriages would be arranged. So in Braj, the culture was also like that. So Nanda and Jashoda proposed to Kirtida and Vrishabhanu, let Radha and Krishna marry. And Vrishabhanu and Kirtida were also very happy because they also had this desire. Because Krishna was the most beautiful and attractive boy in Braj. And they had so much natural love for him. Who cannot have love for Krishna? If you once see Krishna, your heart is lost. We have these shirts, I lost my heart in Vrindavan. What it really means is, I lost my heart to Krishna. Or I lost my heart to Srimati Radhika. So on one hand, Vrishabhanu and Kirtida, they could not imagine that our daughter Srimati Radhika would ever marry anyone but Krishna. And so they're very happy. And Nanda and Jashoda, since they first saw Srimati Radhika, they thought, let Srimati Radhika be the wife of our beloved son Krishna. So they both thought like that from their infancy. So in this way, the marriage was arranged. This means it may happen sometime later, but it was like the word was given. And so to show this, Vrishabhanu Maharaj gave a beautiful pearl necklace to Nanda Yashoda, and Yashoda kept this for Krishna. This was kept for Krishna. So in this way, the marriage was arranged. When it would happen, there's no guarantee, sometime after. But the word was given between the two families. So then in due course, now someone important comes into play, and her name is Purnamasi Devi, Yoga Maya. Purnamasi Devi is like the guru of Braj, and she is elderly and she is like an ascetic, sannyasi. When she first came to Braj before Krishna was born, with her grandson Kusumasav, who is Madhumangal. So she came to Braj with Kusumasav Madhumangal when he was just a little baby, And shortly after that, Krishna was born. She came to Braj and announced, oh, soon this great personality would come and you should prepare everything. Since she came, everything in Braj became very, like, it's described verdant, very lush and green. All the flowers were blossoming. The Jamuna was flowing very sweetly and clean. So when she is Leela Shakti, Purnamasi is Leela Shakti. She facilitates all the Lord's pastimes. She is also Yoga Maya. So in one form, she is like Krishna's sister. She is Krishna's sister in one form as Subhadra. So this is Leela Shakti. So under her direction, all the pastimes of Krishna are going on. Because Krishna and Srimati Radhika, they don't want to be overseeing all these things. They're carefree in Braj. Why would they? It's like if you're playing games, you don't want to have to be the coach or be the judge and be referee and everything. You just want to carefree, be able to play. So Radha and Krishna, this is their vacation place. They just want to be carefree and playing in Braj. So why should they oversee and be in charge of everything? So Yoga Maya Purnamasi, she's arranging all their pastimes so that they're favorable to enhance the ras of Radha Krishna's loving affairs. So when Purnamasi saw that now Krishna and Radhika's marriage has been arranged, she began to think, this will not be completely favorable to the ras of Radha and Krishna's Leela. Because if they are directly married, then there will be some curtailment of the possibilities of their loving exchanges. It's better that they are not married, and then they have to struggle to meet, and they have to overcome so many obstacles, and then the ras becomes more and more intensified. It becomes more and more relishable and more sweet. So then Purnamasi began to think, we have to put some wrench in the gears to stop his marriage. In Braj, the topmost ras is Parakiya ras. Parakiya ras means paramour love. In this world, it's the most low ras. And in that world, it's the topmost ras, because this world is described to be like a perverted reflection. So in that world, the topmost ras is that even though Srimati Radhika and Krishna are inseparable, they are actually one Atma. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir Ladini Shakti Rasmad Ekatmanava Pibuda Bedam. That they are one Atma. But still, the pastimes are arranged by Yoga Maya in such a way that on one hand, Radhika is married to a Gopa, Abhimanyu. And her in-laws, like we always hear the joke, like, oh, my mother-in-law, oh, my sister-in-law. They're always causing disturbances. So this is also in the transcendental world, like Krishna and Radha always have to deal with their Radhika's mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, sister-in-law. They're always causing disturbances. And so even though Radha and Krishna are one Atma on one hand, Chatila is always causing difficulties, Kutila is always causing difficulty, always criticizing Srimati Radhika, always trying to stop her meeting with Krishna. So we're going to hear how that came to be. So then, when Krishna got the pearl necklace, Yashoda didn't give it to him. Yashoda kept it. It was a very beautiful pearl necklace. She kept it and she thought, when some special occasion comes, I'll give it to Krishna. So then Raghunath Das Goswami describes Mukta-carita-lila. Right? So Yashoda was keeping this pearl necklace very safe. And she thought, when Deepavali comes, I'll give it to Krishna. Deepavali is like one of the biggest festivals, the lighting of all the lamps. And so when Deepavali comes, I'll give it to Krishna. And so as Deepavali approached, one day Krishna was out in the forest with his friends. And as he was going by one area, he saw some manjaris and some group of gopis. And he went to see what they were doing. Krishna is always curious, what are the gopis doing? Like the gopis, they like to infiltrate the sakas, they dress like sakas and find out what's Krishna doing. So similarly, Krishna likes to see what are the gopis doing. So that's why Krishna, he went forward into the forest and he saw the gopis were making a very beautiful outfit. Very beautiful, with many gemstones, shiny colors, very effulgent. And he asked Lalita Vishaka, oh, beautiful outfit, who's it for? So the gopis were thinking, we'll make this for Krishna and we'll give Jashoda. But love is not straight. Love is always crooked. Real love is, it's said in the Prem Samput. Radhika herself says in Prem Samput, if you say, I love you, then love diminishes. Love is like a flame that is kept in the heart in like a lampshade. And if you open it out then to the world, then a breeze may blow that can just extinguish that flame of love. So it's better that it's kept very hidden. And so when Krishna asked who this is for, the gopis began to tease and joke with him. And tease him, oh, mind your own business, who do you think you are? Some kind of big guy, like you're in charge of everyone and we have to tell you everything. Mind your own business, So Krishna then was thinking, actually Krishna had this desire to worship his cows. Krishna has so many cows and he has so much love for them. Krishna shows through his pastimes that we should not think someone is lesser and someone is higher, and one kind of like group we serve very nicely, another kind we don't serve so nicely. So Krishna said to the gopis, oh, look, you're making such a beautiful outfit for people, for us human beings, but what about the cows? I have so many cows and I want to decorate my cows. So please just give me a few pearls and I'll make some ornament for my cows. And he was thinking, I'll take some pearls and I'll do some magical pastime to enhance these. And so then Lalita and Vishaka, they're like, oh, you want to take these valuable gems and decorate your cows with them? Your mind has become like a cow. You're like an animal now. You have no intelligence. They're happy sleeping on the ground and eating grass and drinking from the river. You don't need to decorate them like this. Mostly the gopis are always in a contrary mood, especially in Radhika's Swapaksha group. In Chandravali's group, they're more submissive. This is a Dakshin Bhav. They're more submissive. But in Radha's group, especially Lalita is very bold. She's called Prakara, very bold. So she immediately told Krishna, mind your own business and leave us alone. Don't disturb us. So then Krishna became a little angry. He said, okay, now you're not giving me anything. Later, don't ask anything from me. You won't give me anything? Okay. Like there's a story of Dronacharya and Drupad. And when Dronacharya was a poor beggar, he once came to Drupad for a little bit of milk and some place to stay with his family. And Drupad didn't give him anything. Drupad was a big king. And later on, Dronacharya made a vendetta against him. And when he was a big acharya and when he had all the Pandavas and Kauravas as his students, then after he taught the Kauravas and the Pandavas, when it came time to give the Dakshin to the Guru, he sent them to capture Drupad and bind him like an animal and bring him before them. So he was so envious of this time that he didn't give him what he wanted, that Arjuna and all the other ones went to Drupad, tied him up, and dragged him in front of Dronacharya. Later on, Drupad took the side of Arjuna and the Pandavas, even though they had caught him like this. Such is the pastimes of Krishna and his devotees. So then when the gopis said this to Krishna, Krishna was thinking, okay. And he said, don't ask me for anything later. So then Krishna went back home and he was a bit angry now because the gopis didn't give what he wanted. Krishna is Bhagavan, he's used to getting what he wants, But this doesn't work before the gopis. Krishna may be able to, get what he wants to other devotees or to ordinary people. But with the gopis, Krishna ka nahi chalta. So then he went home to his mother and he said, Maya or Jashoda, please, I have one request. I need some pearls. What will you do with the pearls, Kanaya? Then he said, I want to plant them in the field. And Jashoda then, she also, on one hand, the gopis had rejected Krishna, and now Jashoda began to laugh at him. And so Krishna became more angry and stubborn angry. It's called Hati Jiti, very disturbed and also stubborn. Okay, you're not going to help me, I don't care. Because Jashoda was saying, you don't have any intelligence, you're just a little boy, you think you're going to plant pearls? You can't plant pearls. Krishna was saying, no, I'm going to plant the pearls and I'm going to grow so many pearls and I'm going to decorate all my 900,000 cows. Then I'll show everyone. So Jashoda said no. So then Krishna said, I know you're hiding one pearl necklace. This one pearl necklace that Vrishabhanu gave. I know you're hiding this necklace. So he said, no, I'm giving you this on Deepavali. Deepavali is coming soon. I'll give it to you then. So he said, just show it to me. I just want to see it once. Then Krishna started to play. There's 4 types of, if you want to get what you want, Sama, Dama, Niti, Bed, politics, you have to be a little bit crafty. So Krishna said, okay, no problem, I'll wait for Deepavali, no problem. Let me just see it once, I know you have it locked away. So Jashoda smiled, she thought, okay, if I don't show him at least, he may become very angry before, look what happened with Dambandhan Leela. I don't want something like that to happen again, let me at least show him. So she took it out. As soon as she took it out of the case, Krishna pounced and snatched it, and then it's, if you grab some necklace, it's very thin thread, so it exploded, and the pearls flew everywhere, and then Krishna quickly scooped up some pearls in his hands and ran off. And Jashoda was running after him, calling Krishna, 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 but he was so determined today. Before, Jashoda quickly caught him. But today, Krishna was so determined, he very quickly scooped up some pearls and ran off outside. And then he called all his friends, and he said, okay, now just see what we'll do. Now we'll show them. So he took all his friends, and he went into an area outside Nanda Bhavan where they had a nice field. And he went to an open patch of the field, and with all his friends, he began to plant the pearls. So he planted all the pearls. He didn't have so many, but he planted in different areas. And then Krishna thought, okay, if you want to grow pearls, you have to use some special kind of ingredient. If you're growing vegetables, you can use water and things like that. But you want to grow pearls, you need something special. So pearls are very creamy white. So Krishna was thinking, the best thing to do is to use the cow's milk, butter, ghee, makhan, dahi, yogurt, buttermilk. And he was thinking, I'm using this for the cow's service. Afterwards, all my pearls I'm going to use to decorate the cows. So because of this, I should take from them also. That will give it energy in order to grow the pearls, to serve them. So then Krishna went to Mother Yashoda and he said, oh, Mother Yashoda, I planted all the pearls. And he was really happy, big smile. Yes, I did it. If you have a kid, he's like 3-4-year-old kid and he does something like this, then the mother's natural sentiment will be okay. Like she wants to encourage. And so she said, okay, Krishna, no problem. You can take milk from our store. So Krishna started taking buckets and buckets with all the sakas. You can imagine all hundreds and thousands of Krishna's friends all came to the store and began to take bucket after bucket of milk and go and throw it in the field. And Jashoda was thinking like, Baba. And Nanda Baba was outside in the field. She said, okay, let's finish before Nanda Baba comes home. What will he say? All hundreds and thousands of liters of milk are being wasted now, she's thinking. But Krishna wasn't thinking like that. And Krishna wasn't satisfied. After he took from Jashoda's store, then he started going house to house on bhiksha. So if Krishna himself comes to your house and begging bhiksha, how can you resist? You can imagine said like Babajis, they go and they ask for bhiksha. And people see the person, and if their person is very sweet and charismatic, they're more naturally inclined to give. So you imagine beautiful Kanaya comes to your door and asks for bhiksha. How can you resist? Param Parameshwar, the supreme God of gods, the Lord and controller, is begging from you. Then how can you resist? So he said, I want some milk, some yogurt, some ghee. He didn't go to the gopis because the gopis can resist. The young gopis can resist Krishna. They're very strong. But the elderly gopis, meaning the mothers of the gopis, how can they resist? Because they have Vatsalya Bhav, this parental love. And their heart, simply seeing Krishna, their hearts melts in affection. If Krishna were to go to the Sakis, he didn't go to the Sakis because already they rejected him when he asked for the pearls. So he went to the mothers and they gave so much milk and butter. So every day now Krishna began to collect milk, butter, yogurt, ghee, and water the pearls. And not only that, but Krishna he said, look, now we have to be very careful. Now the gopis are very envious of us. We don't know what will happen. So we have to stay on guard day and night. So they began to take shifts. So sometimes like Krishna, Madhumangal, Sudam, sometimes Baladev, Subhadra, Bhadrasen, and Baladev's party. So they took turns guarding so that no one would come and take anything. And day and night they were guarding. And then after a few days they saw that some small sprouts began to come out of the ground. Some small sprouts. And very soon they began to grow and blossom. Within a few weeks, where the pearls were planted, beautiful plants began to come out of the ground. And then as they began to grow and blossom, a fragrance began to go throughout all of Braj Mandal. We can imagine Bhagavan himself is planting the pearls, out of a desire to serve his cows. And the cows, who are the cows? The cows are Kamadhenu. The cows are coming from heaven themselves, Surabhi Mata. It means they come from the heavens and they are like our mothers. They are the real mothers. Also they are selfless mothers. Generally a mother feeds her own child. But cows are such mothers that they feed everyone, not even their own race. They'll feed their cows, but then they'll feed all human beings. So therefore in the scriptures they're described to be our mothers. So Krishna wanted to serve them. So because Krishna had this service mood, naturally this is a very fragrant and auspicious thing. So the fragrance of all these blossoming pearl plants began to spread throughout all of Braj. And then they began to bud. The manjaris came, the first blossom. And then they began to open. So it's described, when they were opening, it was like the opening of many pearls, pomegranates. If you see a pomegranate, first it's like a cluster, right? Closed. But when it opens, then you see many seeds looking like rubies. So when they open, they look like the insides of pomegranates, except that there were many colors. Not just white pearls, many colors of pearls. And Krishna was so happy. Every day, like the Sakas and Krishna now began to dance and sing. And also whenever they would go cow grazing or whatever they would see the gopis, they would tease them. So Krishna was very happy. You can imagine, Krishna was overjoyed. At the same time, Lalita, Vishaka, Radhika, they became very disturbed. Oh, now look, Krishna is trying to show us that he is so great and we are, less. So they thought, okay, we have to now make our own field of pearls. So at that time, Radhika, Lalita, Vishaka, first they collected all their different ornaments and all the pearls they had. And they arranged their own field in Barshana and they planted all the pearls there. And then not only that, they went and sold other jewelry, like gold jewelry and other jewelry in Mathura, and collected pearls there and planted those as well. They thought, Krishna has so many pearls, we'll make 10 times as much. Krishna planted 2 acres, we'll plant 20 acres. So they did this, and then also they were watering with milk and yogurt and ghee. Also they were guarding. But then what happened? Raghunath Das Goswami describes that instead of the pearl plants coming, by Yogamaya Shakti, many thorn trees began to grow. So this is the sweet pastime showing that ultimately, this is Leela Shakti arranging the pastime like this. She wanted the pastime to happen like this. So many thorn trees began to grow. And it said since that time throughout Braj, we find many thorn trees since that time. Because there was some kind of jealousy and competitive spirit. It wasn't like a mood of sweetness and harmony. Prabhuji describes also like this, that, it was like a mood of challenging. So that result of that, the fruit of that became something very sharp or hard. So anyhow, Krishna began to harvest all the pearls. And all the sakas began to make garlands. Generally we see the gopis making garlands. But the gopis already were in a mood of competition with Krishna. So who were they going to make all the garlands for the pearls? So Krishna and all his sakas, they began to make these garlands of pearls. And in the meantime, Deepavali was approaching. So Krishna was thinking, by Deepavali time, we got to be done. Because the gopis were making this dress for Deepavali. And I want to show them. So then they made 900,000 pearl garlands. Not only garlands, but they gave all the cows garlands. They gave on their horns. And they gave blankets on their back like pearls. Blankets, like we see the cows have like a blanket on their back. And many pearls were sewn into this. So then we see when Krishna then, he was thinking, okay, the day of Deepavali, I'm going to take the cows out grazing and I'm going to go to all the different villages in Braj and show them how beautiful my cows are. So we can imagine the scene. When you're chanting japa, you can meditate on this scene. Krishna going out to the forest with his friends, not only as a normal day, but with his 9 lakhs of cows all decorated very beautifully with all these pearls. It was a very splendorous scene. And as Krishna was going, then he was thinking, okay, sometimes I go to Talavan, to Madhuvan, to Bahulavan. Today I'm going to go to Barshana. I'm going to pass right by Barshana so that Radhika will have to see. She will not be able to avoid this sight. So he went from one forest to another. He was taking a long time that day. And as he came by Barshana, we can imagine 900,000 cows, one after another, after another, after another, in different groups, all decorated so wonderfully. It was like shining like the million different gems. Like if you see rubies and sapphires and diamonds and pearls, they're very effulgent. So you can imagine all these cows, it was like a sea of gems, or like a river, not a sea, like a river of these pearls passing by Barshana. And in Barshana, there's different places where you can stand, like different pavilions, different, gazebos. So Radhika was with Lalita, Vishaka, Rupa, Rati, and her Manjaris and Sakhis in one area watching. And, different moods were going on in her heart. Kila kinchit bhav, vyabhichari bhav, so many moods. We cannot describe them all, we don't have time. Brishabhanu Maharaj, he heard about this. He heard the cows coming, and he heard that Krishna had done this. Everybody knew in Braj, Krishna had grown pearls. It was a miracle. So Brishabhanu Maharaj came out and he saw this. And at first he was a little bit happy, but then some kind of little bit of bitterness came. Why? He thought, I gave one pearl necklace to Nanda and Jashoda to show that Radhika will marry Krishna. And now just look how arrogant they are. Like, I'm a poor beggar. I only had enough pearls to give them one small necklace. And now look at Nanda and Jashoda. They've decorated all their 9 lakh cows with pearls to show who is Brishabhanu? Who is Kirtida? Who is Radha? Now he is generally like parents. They'll want the daughter should be from the same level. The son should be from the same level. Then the marriage will be successful. They won't be fighting. The girl should not be a beggar and the boy a prince. It's more compatible if they're on an equal status. And Brishabhanu was thinking, look what they have done now. Oh, they have shown some slight. So he became a little disturbed, and at that evening he was talking to Kirtida, let's discuss now, how can we give our Radha in marriage to Krishna? How can we do this? And so then he called a meeting between Nanda, Jashoda, and he said, marriage is cancelled. And then that night Krishna returned home. The next day, because it took some time, right? So Krishna returned home with all the cows. He was very happy, dancing and singing. When he came back with all the sakhas, they were all dancing, playing the instruments, very happy. The whole way dancing and singing. The next day, after they had this meeting, Nanda and Jashoda came home from meeting with Brishabhanu Kirtida, and they told him what happened. And Krishna heard this, and it was like a thunderbolt struck his heart. Oh no, what have I done? What have I done? They became so sad. So what happened next, we'll hear tomorrow. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhya ptitanang pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.